01. My micron, this is brown, but it's almost black. And when I even put it on the paper, it looks very black. So it's a very, very dark brown. I have a white and a brown charcoal pencil, a white gel pen, and my gray marker instead of using a pencil. But you know, all the regular tools are going to work fine if you're working on your white paper with the black marking tools. So we're going to be doing a monotangle today. And the tangle that we are doing is called Sand. And it is by Adele, I just want to spell this correctly, Adele Bruno. And I just was just searching for something to do, and I came across this and I thought, oh, that's really pretty. Let's go for it. So I'm going to start with our pencil and our 4 corner dots. And then when I join the dots together, I'm going to stay fairly square. I'm not going to go, and I'm doing it very lightly because I know we're not coming right to the border. So I know you can hardly see that, but I am going very lightly. Okay, now I'm going to use my PN, my really dark one that's almost black. It's brown. And in the 4 corners, I'm going to just start with a little circle. That's a pretty tiny circle if you look to the nib. And I'm going to color it in, kind of leaving a little sparkle in the center. If you color it all the way, don't worry, because I'm going to be putting white gel pen on that too later. So I'm going to go to all 4 corners and put the little circle in. Almost like a little berry circle. Now, just really roughly, I'm going to put 2 more along my borders. Trying to keep them fairly evenly spaced. So probably 1 here, 1 here. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I'm just going to turn and do that on all 4 sides. So I have the 2 corners and 2 in between, so it's a row of 4 dots. This tangle is very reminiscent of bales, and I actually had to look up bales to see what the differences were, and there is quite a few differences, so it's not exactly. And now I'm going to do another row. Well, actually, I'm going to finish doing rows this way too. So I'm going to put dots. So we're doing a grid without drawing our lines in for the grid. We're making a grid with the dots. And then I'm going to put some dots in the middle of each of the squares. So now we have a very busy grid. I'm going to switch now to my brown micron 01. And I'm going to, on diagonals, I'm going to do a little rice shape from dot to dot. So I'm just kind of finding approximately the middle of the dot and landing in the middle of the next one. And again, my dots aren't perfect, so this will wobble a bit as I put them in, and it's okay. So I'm coming on the diagonal for sure, not. And I'll just do all my rows. Okay, and then I'm going to turn and do the opposite diagonals. So we'll be making small boxes now. So it's interesting how you get, they call it a meta pattern, where you can almost see like circles overlapping when you do this. I'm going to switch back to my PN, the dark brown. You can use your black marker. You don't have to switch. This isn't necessary to switch. I just want to go back to the other color. And inside all the full squares, not on the outside where it's just an open V shape, but inside all the full squares, I'm going to do an aura of my so it's not, it's a kind of a square, but it's got concave edges. Okay, so now in the center of all of these squares, we're going to put an orb in there. So we're just going to put a circle or shape, and then I'm going to color the triangular points. So we'll just take our time with this and enjoy the relaxing process. You may prefer to put all the circles in and then come back and color. to change back to my my brown Micron 01 for the next step. You can stay with the marker you're with. It's not going to matter. But what we're going to do now is we're going to draw in another grid in behind what we've got going here. So I'm going to start with one of my center ones, and I have my my wonky square with the orb in the middle, and I'm going to just halfway through each one, I'm just putting a little line. I don't know how to explain it. It's just like at the halfway point, just to the rice shape. And you're going to do that on each of the full squares. And once you get a few done, you're going to see it looks like a little grid in behind going underneath the rice. Around the outside edge, what we want to do is if this line were to come underneath and extend and to meet up with this line, we're going to just continue that just to finish the square. So if this line here would probably come to here and to here, and then always remember they go behind on the rice. So this line would come out here, and this line would come out here. So you can see how it forms a box. So there's a lot of different ways we could do the next step, but I'm going to do stripes. So if I'm looking, we have this, if we're looking at the box is in behind now, we have like a row with 3. There's 2 in this row, a row with 3, 2, and 3. I'm only going to work on the rows with the 3. I'm going to not do anything on the rows with 2. Does that make sense? You've got 1, 2, 3. This, and in here there's like 2 that are tucked in behind. We're just going to ignore those ones. And I'm going to put stripes in here. So you just take it one at a time. I'll start in the middle, but I'm going to do the go under method. So whenever I run into something, I'm going under. So this point, this is where it really verges from the tangle called Bales. It's very different. In the notes that Adele has written, she says, finish by adding a grid to the entire tangle in hollow bow fashion under the existing lines. And she said, it is vital to draw the last diamond shaped grid. And I'm pretty sure she's saying that because this is where it really verges and changes from being something similar to Bales into a new tangle, is this grid that we're doing back here. And as you're going, if you accidentally go over something, you know not to worry, just to keep going. But that really just such a nice touch. Lines in there. I thought I just, I drew a few circles on the back because I thought I would just give you some options on how to shade the circles, which would be the next step. So the first way would be you just take your pencil and do a little crescent shape with your pencil, and then use your tortillon. You're just going to gently smudge that and bring it around. And leaving a little highlight. And I like to leave a little of the edge showing when I'm doing that. Another way is you could use your, if you have a marker, you could just do a crescent with your marker on half of the orb. And then with your gel pen, you could put a little sparkle on the other side, which you could do here too if you wanted to add a little sparkle. Another option would be you could make them look like pearls, like coming in with your, depending on, you know, what color paper you're using, or coming in with your white charcoal. Just making them look like a pearl. And then you can add a little shading with either the pencil or the marker. That's with pencil. And if you can't, just finding them. Or if I came in and did the same, the white charcoal. I could come in with the marker on top of the white charcoal and do a crescent shape, and it makes it a softer gray color. So the tan tiles are a little bit more delicate, so you have to be really careful. They with rubbing on them. Actually, those are all good options. Or you could just keep putting the wrong end on. Okay, or you could just you know, just come in and just leave them as they are, and maybe come in and put a little kind of fescue with the white gel pen. So those are options, and I'm going to let you pick. Here, let me see if I can get it to focus better. So this was the pencil, staying away from the edge and smudging it out into a circle, the crescent shape, with the gray marker and white gel pen, coloring the whole berry with the white charcoal, and coming in with a little crescent of pencil on top of the white charcoal and just smudging it very lightly. White charcoal coming on top with the gray marker. And this one is just adding a little kind of apostrophe kind of shape in there with the white gel pen. So I'm going to say, I'm going to leave this up to you and just go ahead and do your berries however you would like them, or your circles, your orbs. Berries are, and you know, you just have to kind of pick a method and go for it.
Mm.
If you're working on white, you're probably going to come in with just your charcoal pencil and do a traditional. Just remember, you have to, if you be very delicate if you're working on a Renaissance tile, because it does tend to fray a bit more. I have to say, on this computer screen, these are a lot more dense and white than they are in person. So don't think that yours isn't going down the same, because I think that it's just really focusing on the white, the camera. You don't have to color these in. These don't have to be. This is one of those, it's a tangle where you could just keep going. Like you could color in behind these ones that we didn't do the stripes in. You could color them a different color. You could make them like, you can leave them. You could, I'm going to leave mine, but there's so much you could just keep adding layers of to this tangle. All right. At this point, you could say it's done. You could have colored those rice shapes in or not, but I'm going to add one more step. I'm going to do some shading around each edge of my rice shapes, and I'm going to use my my brown. It's actually a sanguine. It's called. It's a very light brown pencil. This would work very, very good with your regular pencil though too. You could definitely just use your regular pencil. And I'm just going to round each outside of my rice shape. I'm going to add just a little brown. Okay. Now I'm just going to very lightly soften those lines, but I'm not going to take it very far out. Just trying to think where to start. Try not to get my hands on the I'm going to just finish it by putting just a little dot of white gel pen on my little highlights of each of my tiny circles we did at the beginning. Let's give my gel pen just a little bit of chance to dry. And this is one of those ones that's up or down. There's not much difference. I'm just gonna sign the back, July 11th. So my initials on the front.